How's it going, everyone? It's Abdallah here with another exciting episode of Pokemon Sun and Moon tips and tricks videos. On today's episode, we're going to show you guys how to get Cosmog, how to get a good nature on Cosmog, and how to make sure that you're able to get a pretty good individual value spread. So if you guys are excited for it, definitely smash that like button and share the video with a friend. Let's do this. Now, before you even get started, you have to become the Elite Four champion. Alright, enough said. Go through, enjoy the main story mode, and come back to this video when you're ready. Now, of course, I've shown you guys that in order to pass on a nature, a specific nature that is, to a Pokemon that you're catching in the wild, or if it's a Pokemon that's given to you, you use a Pokemon with the ability Synchronize. Now, this is one of the first steps that you want to use, but in case you don't really care what nature, you can skip all this part. I'm doing this for all of you competitive battlers that are looking to use Solgaleo in your, I guess, high-tier battles. Anyway, Alakazam is a good one for me. I got him holding a lucky egg so that he can grow a little bit quicker. But of course, he's got the ability Synchronize. Synchronize, as long as you have him in the first slot of your team, he'll have a chance at passing over the nature. Of course, I'm going to be looking for a Timid Cosmog. Timid is going to be a great nature for a Lunala, so I'm hoping that that can actually happen. Timid's actually not bad for Solgaleo as well. I mean, it's great in speed. So anyway, Timid is what we're going to be aiming for. That is your first step. Now, of course, if you've gone through and played Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon, you guys know that you already have one of the cover legendaries, right? You've got Lunala or Solgaleo. Now, with Solgaleo, I was able to go through and capture him with a Premier Ball, and at the same time, we were able to synchronize Adamant on him, so I can make a pretty good physical attacking one. In hindsight, I probably would have gone with Jolly, just so I don't lose any speed ties with that base, was that 97 speed stat? Anyway, so you were able to go through and pass on a nature, but you weren't necessarily able to go through and change up the individual value spread. Now, in case you guys don't know how to get this judge functionality, you simply have to go to the battle tree, hatch 20 eggs at least, talk to the trainer right next to the computer, and he'll give you that functionality. Now, since mine's Adamant, which is a positive attack boosting one, I want one with positive attack boosting IV spread. But this is exactly the opposite. This is maxed out in special attack, not so good in attack, and not so good in speed. So this is a terrible IV spread if I'm going to be using this one competitively. So luckily for you guys, we're going to get another start simply by capturing and getting and evolving our Cosmog in this episode. So here we go. I'm going to be aiming for a Timid one. We'll go for special attacking. And of course, if I trade it over to my Moon file, which I always use off screen, we can go through and hopefully evolve that into Lunala over there. Anyway, so enough about that. That's all you need for preparations is a synchronizer. That's really all you need. So head on over to your ride pager. Let's call it Charizard. And what we're going to do is we're going to head on over to the Pony Island right over here to the Altar of the Sun. Now, of course, here's the thing. If you're playing Pokemon Sun, you are going to need it to be nighttime. And you're going to need to bring Solgaleo with you. Now, of course, it's not nighttime in my game, so there's a workaround on doing that. In case you guys don't know what time it is in your game, and you've been messing around with your in-game Nintendo 3DS clock, which you guys shouldn't, by the way, because it stops some of the in-game time functionality, you can always talk to this guy, and he'll tell you, hey, it's currently 14 o'clock. So anyway, I don't want anything from him. What you're going to need to do is, if you're playing Pokemon Sun, you need to go to the Altar of the Sun at nighttime, of course, with your Solgaleo. Now, since I was able to trade for a Lunala, I have kind of a workaround that we can do. This Lunala will allow us to go through in Pokemon Sun during the day and then open up the wormhole. Now, yes, it's a little confusing, but if you're playing Pokemon Sun, long story short, bring Solgaleo all the way over to the Altar of Sun at nighttime, okay? If you're playing Pokemon Moon, bring Lunala to the Altar of the Moon, which is over here. Bring her there during the day. So kind of like opposites. But if you have, if you have any of the opposite ones inside your version, then you can bring them over there and then go into it at any time, which is great. So anyway, we're going to warp over here to the Vast Pony Canyon, jump onto your Tauros ride, and we're going to go all the way up these steps. Now, If the wormhole all the way over here says that it doesn't look like you can transverse it, then that means that you're in the wrong time of day. Or you didn't bring the right legendary Pokemon with you. I brought both of them with me, as you guys can see right over here. I've got my Synchronizer Alakazam, I've got Solgaleo, and I've got Lunala. So this portal better open. Now, I don't expect all of you guys to have both legendaries right off the bat, just saying that if you manage to trade with someone for their Lunala, then by all means it'll be a little bit easier for you to get another extra Cosmog. If not, then you may have to wait until a specific time of day in order to access this. So here we go. Beyond this distortion, you see what looks like to be another world. Will you go there? Absolutely. So hopefully that wasn't too confusing to you guys. You know, I've seen people like struggle to figure out, how do I get into the portal? Like, what Pokemon do I need to bring? What time of day does it have to be? If you have both of them, you can go in anytime. But of course, I don't expect you guys all to have both of them. So now what happens is that we're in another dimension. Not only is it a mirror dimension, but it changes the day to night and night to day, which is pretty good considering the fact that if you're hunting for Zygarde pieces or Zygarde cells and cores, you may have to utilize this if you don't want to wait until your Nintendo 3DS actually goes through. But anyway, we're going to continue on. So if you're playing Pokemon Sun, you're going to head over to the Ula Ula Island, over here by Route 16, Lake of the Sun. Now, if you notice, it's called Lake of the Sun because we're in the alternate dimension. In the regular dimension, it's called Lake of the Moon. Now, if you're playing in Pokemon Moon, you're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to bring Lunala and warp over to Lake of the Moon. A little confusing, but don't worry, you got this. Bring your legendary right over here, and if you already have your legendary on your team, you're good to go. So, here's the part where it's going to get a little bit tricky, because, simply put, you want to save before you even approach the actual altar. Going into the altar will trigger the Cosmog scene, and you don't want to do that just yet. So right over here is a perfect area to go through and save. Now, why are we saving? We're saving our game because we want to make sure that we get the optimal IV spread, or individual values that you check with the judge functionality in the PC, that complement the nature that we're looking for. So since I've talked to you guys about synchronizers in my previous videos, synchronized Alakazam is going to give me Timid. Timid is plus speed minus physical attack. So I'm going to be looking for a Cosmog with the plus speed, plus special attack, and let's go with HP. I think that'd be pretty safe to have those 3 IVs. Now, with IVs, you're guaranteed 3 perfect ones. So, here we go. Head on over to the altar with your cover legendary. When I say cover legendary, I mean if you're playing Pokemon Moon, bring Lunala. If you're playing Pokemon Sun, like I am currently for this demonstration, bring Solgaleo. Anyway. So here we go. Solgaleo's going to go over here, roar to the sky. Another Pokemon appeared from somewhere. So there you have it. Another Pokemon appearing. And what do you know? It's Cosmog. Okay, so now here's the part where we're going to go through and get our very own Cosmog. Would you like to take Cosmog with you? Absolutely. That's the whole point of this. Alright, looking good. Cosmog. He's good. So, we're good there. We're good on that front. We're going to add his data to the Pokedex, which is great. And you'll notice that there's also another spot right behind him. Cosmog does evolve at level 43. Cosmog at 43. That's going to be an uphill struggle, but don't worry. We're going to be able to do it, and I'll give you some tips on how to do that. Okay, we're going to go through and knock him a nickname, but he's going to be in our party, so we can easily see what nature he's going to be. If our synchronizer did his job correctly, we should have a Cosmog that is timid right now. Alright, and of course, what do you know? Timid. And the characteristic alert to sounds means that one of his IVs is maxed out in speed. So this is already looking like a very good Cosmog. Now, since we're in this alternate dimension, we can easily go through and fly anywhere we need to. It's the exact same game, but it just made it nighttime. Now, don't think that just because we're in an alternate dimension, does that mean that in Pokemon Sun you can capture all the Pokemon Moon exclusives? It doesn't work that way. Or vice versa. If you're playing Pokemon Moon, Now that you're in an alternate dimension, you're not going to be able to catch all the Pokemon Sun exclusives. Anyway, just had to go through and clarify that. Apparently people think that. So that's definitely not the case. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to look at our Cosmog. We're going to judge him. And, oh man, what? Okay. That's a 4 IV Cosmog. Holy moly. Dang, that's good. You could run a mixed set. Wow. Okay, if only it had really good HP stat. That would be perfect. Okay, so this is totally a Cosmog that I would keep. I would keep this in a heartbeat. I love this 4 IV Cosmog. That is great. Wow. I'm pretty excited about that. Okay, so you guys are wondering, all right, well, how am I going to get a level 5 Cosmog all the way over to level 42, 43 to evolve this thing? Considering the fact that Cosmog doesn't learn any moves besides, what is that, Splash and Teleport. So it's going to be really tough. So I'll give you guys a quick tip on how to evolve him. We're going to go through and give him a Lucky Egg. Now, I was talking to you guys about Alakazam holding my Lucky Egg. In case you guys didn't already, go to Professor Kukui's house, talk to him, and he'll hook you up with a Lucky Egg afterwards, which is also very good. So there we have it, Cosmog with the Lucky Egg. Now Cosmog's going to be earning even more experience. So that's really fun and exciting. One of the other things that you want to do if you want to boost experience on your Cosmog is head on over to Pokemon Refresh. Now Pokemon Refresh is a great way of interacting with certain Pokemon that are on your teams. Now, of course, you can go through and see your Alakazam, you can see anyone that you want. We're going to go through, click on the bottom right screen, we're going to go over to Cosmog over here, and we're going to switch. Now, if you guys have been playing in Pokepelago, you guys have come across some of the Rainbow Beans. Now, Rainbow Beans oftentimes give a lot of affection whenever you feed them to any Pokemon. So here we go. We've got one Rainbow Bean that we're going to give to this Cosmog over here. He's going to like it so much. And you can see just all the hearts just coming out of him right now, which is awesome. We're going to go through and we're going to give him another Rainbow Bean. So let's see how many affection hearts we can do. Yeah, perfect. So I would say just stuff him full with as many Rainbow Beans as you guys possibly can. Just so that he's able to go through and eat all of them. And you can tell now he's eating a little bit slower. So that means that he most likely won't eat another bean if I put it in front of him. So very cool. Very cute. I like this guy. I like him a lot. So let's take a look. Let's switch over to Pokemon. We gave, oh my gosh, we gave him 3 Rainbow Beans and he maxed out his affection, which is great. So that means that not only is he going to get a boost from the Lucky Egg for experience, but he will go through and get a boost from the affection bonus. Now, if you guys have access to 2 Nintendo 3DSs, that's even better. Or if you have a buddy. Let's say you got a buddy that you are doing this Cosmog evolving with. Go through and exchange Cosmogs so that you guys are battling with the other person's Cosmog, and then at the same time, you'll go through and earn even more experience. Now, where are the best places to earn experience? Just battle the Elite Four. If you go through a couple runs of the Elite Four, which is a good hour, maybe 2 hours worth, you'll get Cosmog to level 43, and he'll evolve into Cosmoem, which is going to be very awesome for you. And of course, if you keep on going to level 53, your Cosmog will evolve into Lunala or Solgaleo, depending on what version you're playing. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I told you guys pretty much everything I know about how to get a Cosmog. I'm excited because we got a really good one. I mean, I am pumped up that we got this really good competitive one. But if you don't like the one that you got, you guys can easily save beforehand and soft reset by pressing the L, R, and start buttons, and then just talking to Cosmog again, bringing him over to the PC, and then taking a look at him. But I'm pretty happy about this one. The only thing that would be better is if my Cosmog actually had a perfect HP stat. That would be amazing. I would totally sacrifice the attack stat for the HP stat, but that's okay. You can keep on soft resetting until you get the absolute perfect Cosmog, and that's going to be amazing for you guys. Now, here's the thing. Since you're going to evolve, let's say you're playing Pokemon Moon, you're going to evolve this thing into another Lunala, right? So that means that you have 2. So Game Freak was clever enough to go through and program the game that you're able to have 2 of these cover legendaries so that you can go through and put one up for trade for one of the opposite cover legendaries. So that's amazing. I think it's genius. Game Freak did an awesome job during the Ultra Beast hunt with having a lot of the extra exclusives so that you can trade between versions. I think it's genius, and I really appreciate what Game Freak has done with that. But anyway, speaking of appreciating, if you guys have enjoyed this tutorial, definitely smash that like button, and of course share the video with a friend. We want to make sure that we have a lot more people going through and trading up all these Cosmogs. It's going to be great. There's going to be a lot of different tutorials in the playlist, so make sure that you guys go through and binge watch those. If you guys would like to see the newest video that I've uploaded on my channel, you guys can click right over here. And of course, some recommendations on my channel right over there. I would love it if you guys would click right here to watch my 100% walkthrough. It's great. We go through the entire game, we collect all the items, and we have a good time with it. So, yes, I'm excited for Cosmog. I'm excited to get another Solgaleo. We're going to see what we're going to do with them. It's going to be excellent. So if you guys have any suggestions as to Solgaleo or Lunala sets, I'd like to see them in the comment section below. What kind of natures or IV spreads or EV spreads are you going to put on your legendary if you choose to battle with them? I know a lot of people don't really like battling with legendaries all too much. Me personally, I don't, but like the fact that I have one that can be competitive is going to be pretty sweet. So anyway, that's going to be it out of me today. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll talk to you guys on the next Pokemon Sun and Moon tips and tricks tutorial. Take care.